वो आप जरूर है। अगर आप बोलेंगे कि जो हाईलाइटिंग पॉइंट को अगर आप कह देंगे कम्युनिकेशन, प्लीज अटेंड द कम्युनिकेशन स्किल कंडक्टेड बाय डॉक्टर संजीव, तो संजीव और दीपक तो चले गए शिक्षक के लिए, ठीक है ना, जो आप छुपाना चाहते हैं, ठीक है ना। तो कहने का मतलब वो है। और ये भी है, कोई चीज आपको मान लो कॉन्फिडेंट नहीं है बोलने में, या कोई चीज का सवाल कहीं क्वेश्चन ना पूछ ले, तो आप वो भी डिले कर सकते हो। ये सारे ट्रिक्स हैं, ओके। ये आपको थोड़ा सा ट्रिक्स है ऑफ वॉइस मॉड्यूलेशन। तो we have finished body language, eye contact, okay, voice modulation. Then let's see how to use the floor, right? So you see that आपने कई वर्कशॉप्स अटेंड करे सिस्टर्स को, है ना। जब आप अंदर आए हो, ठीक है, आपने देखा कि आपको बिठाया गया। देखिए रूम का जो है, ये देखिए, जब आप अंदर आए हो, आपके 1 2 3 4 4 रोज बनाए गए हैं। आप जितने वर्कशॉप अटेंड करते हो, या तो 2 ऐसे पड़े रहते है कि नहीं। जब आप वर्कशॉप ऑर्गेनाइज भी कर रहे हो, कोई चीज ऑर्गेनाइज कर रहे हो, इफ इट इज इंटरैक्टिव वर्कशॉप, यू हैव टू ऑर्गेनाइज योर रूम beforehand. See, this was organized, right? Okay, this was organized because the 4 rows had been there and there have been aisles. जैसे आप एरोप्लेन में जाते हो ना, ऐसे देखिए बनाया हुआ है कि नहीं। तो किस लिए? This is for floor movement of the instructor, right? So ये methodically पहले से डिजाइन किया हुआ। This was done by our coordinator Nirmal Saini, and this thing they have taken good care of, you know, how to organize the workshop. This is the beauty of coordinators, that they set it right for you guys, you know, for the instructor to have an interaction. अगर मैं ऐसे लगा देता तो मैं कहीं जा ही नहीं पाता। Number 1. Why it is important to move around the room? क्यों important है कि आप मूव करके क्यों पढ़ें? अगर मैं यहाँ पढ़ाता खाली, देखिए यहाँ पे खड़ा होके यही चीजें बोलता रहता, ओके, यहीं पे मैं बोलता रहता है। Now we are speaking of communication skills. And communication skill is very important. We have to know about personality development. I keep on speaking. तो क्या होता? वही 5 मिनट वाला फंडा, याद है ना? 5 मिनट वाला, आखिरी पहला 5, आखिरी 5, याद है ना? है? तो वो फंडा निकालने के लिए you must move around, right? उससे क्या होता है? Communication 1-to-1 होता है। You are maintaining the eye contact. You are maintaining the, you know, everything. Plus, you are looking at the students. ठीक है ना? Students who are slightly weak and average. एक अच्छे टीचर की निशानी वो है कि जो वीक स्टूडेंट होते हैं क्लास में, उनको ऊपर ले आए और एवरेज को थोड़ा और अच्छा बनाए। जो इंटेलिजेंट है, अच्छा है, you know, anyway he will read. आप पढ़ाओ ना पढ़ाओ, anyway वो अच्छा है कि नहीं? So that is the beauty of the teacher, to pick up those, and it only can happen, you know, so if you have good floor movement. So you're looking at all the individuals. दूसरा मकसद ये है, some of the students are disruptive. पीछे मोबाइल पे बात करते रहेंगे, है ना, ऐसे बात करते रहेंगे पीछे कान में लगा के, हैं? और दूसरा ये भी बोलते रहेंगे ना, इधर अरे छोड़ यार क्या करना है, सब बेकार की बातें हैं, मेरे को तो आता ही है, ये तो बातें छोड़ो यार, डॉक्टर वही के तरह से पढ़ाते रहते हैं, है ना। अभी हमारा मस्ती का टाइम है, थोड़ा मैं नींद भी मार लेता हूँ, तू मेरे को उठा क्यों देती है? कोई बोले ठीक है, मैं थोड़ा नींद मार लेता हूँ, है ना। आखिरी 5 मिनट उठा दें, मैं ताली वाली मार दूंगा, ठीक है। So remember that is you have to pick up those students also, disruptive students. So you must go and ask a question to them. This is what I do, and this is most of the teachers they should do. So that you can only make out when you do floor movement, you know. So that is about the floor movement, right? Next is I have to ask a question. कैसे question पूछेंगे? Question जो है sister or doctors, you must know your presentation before coming to the class. You must know कि कौन से slide पे आपको question पूछनी है। ऐसा नहीं है कि मन किया, डॉक्टर भोई ने बोला तो question पूछो, चलो मैं पूछ लेता हूँ। अभी मेरे दिमाग में आ रहा है, अभी मेरे को पूछना है, मेरे को मन कर रहा है अभी मैं पूछता हूँ, है ना, इसको तंग करने के लिए। So don't do that. Number 1, right? So you must know which slide you have to ask, and you must know the answer. ऐसा नहीं कि आपने क्वेश्चन पूछ लिया, आप ही को ना आए आंसर आए, ठीक है ना, ठीक है। So number 1. Number 2 is when to ask. मैंने पूछ लिया, you should know whom to ask So you have to find out the troubleshooters as well. उनको पूछ सकते हो, and you can ask any particular person. That's why you must ask by name. Okay. Okay. So now I'll go to Rakesh. Rakesh, can you tell me what do you mean by what are the guidelines of AHA and chest compression to ventilation ratio? What is the guideline, Rakesh?
30:2 and 100 compression per minute.
Yeah, thank you very much, and you did an excellent answer. Okay, you must clap. Yes, why not? Right. So remember, this is I went and asked the person, right, with the name. If अगर आपका small group है, then you must know by name. So before that जब आप workshop के लिए आते हो, आपको सबको वो participant एक बार देख लीजिए कि आजकल फोटो भी लगा देते हैं, है ना, कई वर्कशॉप में पहले से, तो आप पहचान जाओगे. अगर नहीं भी है तो you can ask, okay doctor, okay, what is the answer, what is the what is the guideline for chest compression to ventilation? This is what is called as close-ended question. Okay, so मैंने पूछा है, नाम लिख के पूछना है, या नहीं पता है तो डॉक्टर या नर्स जो भी हैं उनको एड्रेस करिए, and go near here and make an eye contact and ask the question. There are two types of question, close-ended. Matilda, keep a time on my talk. Okay, so close-ended and open-ended, this thing. What do you mean by close-ended question, Robin? What do you mean by close-ended question? Anybody else who can give a slightly better answer? Please, Rakesh.
Close-ended question. Just we are expecting from the participant in yes or no answer.
Very good answer. Excellent answer. Okay. So you see that you take a close-ended question means you say in a yes/no format or short answers, right? Short answer is called as close-ended question. ठीक है ना? जैसे मैंने पूछा what is the guideline of chest compression to ventilation? He answered 30:2 ratio at the rate of 100 per minute. This is a close-ended answer. छोटा आंसर है. छोटा आंसर मतलब ये इसको क्या कहते हैं रॉबिन? Close-ended question. समझ में आ गया? अब मैंने पूछा what is a close-ended question? You know? इसको थोड़ा explanation चाहिए कि नहीं? थोड़ा लंबा टाइम लगेगा, 2-3 लाइन बोलने पड़ेंगे, है ना? यही क्वेश्चन हो गया क्या? Open-ended. जिसका कोई सिर पैर नहीं है, ठीक है ना? तो you keep on speaking, है ना, डिटेल में आप समझाते रहो. That is called as open-ended question. You got my point? That is called as open-ended question. So अगर आपका टाइम शॉर्ट है, प्रेजेंटेशन के लिए 30 मिनट दिया गया है या 20 मिनट या 15 मिनट, तो अगर आप ओपन-एंडेड क्वेश्चन पूछेंगे तो क्या होगा? पूरा टाइम क्लास में स्टूडेंट आंसर ही करते रहेंगे, तो आपका कट गया टाइम. फिर आप रनिंग करते रहोगे. Let me finish the slide. Let me finish the slide. You know, let me no time. Let me, you know, then you run away with the slide. People will not understand anything. तो आपको पहले से ही ध्यान देना है कि how many questions shall I ask and which slide shall I ask. Got my point? If you have 15 minutes, ask a close-ended question. And after you ask the question, जैसे मैंने क्वेश्चन पूछा, कितना देर तो वेट करूं मैं? Anybody? At least for 20 seconds I must wait before saying yes or no. अगर मैंने सही जवाब दिया तो I should appreciate his remarks. Okay? Like I said, excellent. Then उसके बाद मैंने क्या किया? वही आंसर जो राकेश ने बोला पूरे ऑडियंस को सुनाया मैंने. This is called as paraphrasing. क्योंकि the interaction with me and Rakesh was close. He said 30:2. But सबको benefit मिलना चाहिए ना उसका आंसर का. If it is a correct answer, तो वही आंसर आपको क्या बोलना है? So CPR guidelines are 30:2 ratio of chest compression ventilation at the rate of 100 should be there. Excellent answer by Rakesh. ये 3 चीजें मैंने बोली. वही चीज आपको दूसरों को भी बताना है. This is called as paraphrasing. You understand? So I gave you some remarks. So he is also encouraged. सर ने मेरे को अच्छा बोला. You know, he applauded. सबने ताली बजाई कि नहीं? You know, these are another trick, right? And some of the classes, you know, I give chocolates. Okay, chocolate questions होते हैं मेरे, ठीक है ना? So in workshops I give chocolates. रखा था अलग से रखता है, ठीक है ना, chocolates देने के लिए participants को. that also encourages the structure, right? So there are chocolate questions, and Nirmal keeps on buying those chocolates, for our workshops. And Nirmal and Sonia, they keep a stock of chocolates, right? Before the class. मेरे अपने लिए नहीं, students के लिए रखा जाता है. And that they value it a lot. Value. कि yes, we got a chocolate. Chocolate का देखिए value कितनी बढ़ जाती है उसमें, है ना? 5 पैसे की chocolate. So you see, give me reward. और if इन्हें आंसर गलत दिया, इसने बोला होता 30:1 सर, तो मैं कैसे जवाब देता कि राकेश तू यार बेकार है, बेकार है, किसी और को पूछते हैं, ऐसे बोल रहा तो don't never do that. Never try to pull the participant in adult learning. Remember this, because all are adults learning in a nice way. Okay, everybody has got his own space in life. समझ रहे ना? हर एक की अपनी space होती है life में. You are all adults, so give them the space. Even they have answered long, you must say, okay, can anybody, can you be more specific? Can you be more specific? 32, yes. So I think that is the correct answer, Rakesh. So you can still, still refine the thing without giving him a negative feedback. Okay, can we have a better answer from you, doctor? So you can, or half he has given answer correct, so you can still refine with another guy who is sitting here. So rather than pulling him down, don't do that. No, it's a bekar hai. And the last is asking questions. Rewarding, मैंने पूछा, बताया आपको? Okay, don't go such near also. Okay, what is 30:2? Come on, tell me. What do you mean by 30:2? Don't be intimidating. Don't be louder when you are asking the question. तो उसमें क्या होगा? Participant घबरा जाएगा. ठीक है, जैसे घबरा गया, घबराने के बाद हंसने लग गया, ये सब कुछ करना लगे, ठीक है ना? So it should not be intimidating. So keep a distance, and then you pause, and then you give reply. So you see, these are the tricks to ask a question and answer. Am I clear? Asking questions, right? Okay, suppose किसी ने question पूछ लिया. कुछ होते हैं students, आपने देखा होगा, sir, let me answer this thing. थोड़ी देर में और एक कोई क्वेश्चन पूछा, राकेश ने अगर और एक बार जवाब दिया होता तो हाथ उठाया तो मैंने बोलता कि ठीक है राकेश, just I'll get an answer from others also. ठीक है ना? तो उसमें क्या होता है, one person is trying to taking the ransom the whole class. कोई एक ही बोलता है सर मैं आंसर करूंगा, मैं आंसर करूंगा, कहते कि नहीं? उदंग बच्चों की तरह, ठीक है ना? वो दिखाना चाहते हैं कि मैं ही इंटेलिजेंट हूँ, ठीक है ना? They must be knowing. Fine. As a teacher, if you accept all the answers from him, you are not a good teacher. Remember this. You know why? Because you are not allowing other persons to take a chance. You should be fair play in your class. समझ में आया ना? आप पूछिए दूसरों को, किसी को आंसर नहीं है फिर उसके पास जाइए. Okay, then he will also get the importance. Yes, I knew the answer. You understand? But as a teacher, you must be very fair. So you go and ask, okay, can I have this answer, please? So I will come to you, but let me ask the other people. So give fair chance of asking questions to others. Don't allow him to take a ransom to him. क्लास में होते हैं ऐसे लड़के, ठीक है ना? तो आपको ऐसे कंट्रोल करना है. दूसरा, कोई आपको क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा है, और एक तरीके होते हैं तो आंसर वाले, है ना? ठीक है ना? आंसर वाले होते हैं. एंड और होते हैं क्या, और किस प्रकार के होते हैं सिस्टर? जो खाली क्वेश्चन ही पूछते रहते, होते हैं कि नहीं? स्कूल में पूछा है ना आपने कभी? मैंने सुना कि आप पूछते रहते थे. तो खाली क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं, सवाल पूछते हैं. क्यों? They think they are super intelligent. Isn't it so much? They ask people like that, है ना? So what is the mechanism of injury of this thing? Okay? Or what is this thing? They will ask in the depth, right? They will ask. I am not getting clear, sir. ठीक है? जानते होंगे, सब पढ़ा होगा, है ना? They will pick up. मैं तो आज तंग करूँगा इसको, है ना? यार हीरो बन रहा है ये, ठीक है? तो इसको मैं पूछूंगा टीचर, ठीक है ना? And they think they are super intelligent, right? That's why मैंने कहा कि आपको पढ़ के अच्छी तरह आना है. ऐसे स्टूडेंट भी मिलेंगे आपको. Okay? Number 1. So if you have asking disruptive and more asking questions, तो उसको कैसे चुप कराए? कोई आंसर दो. जो आंसर देगा उसको टंगड़ी कबाब मेरे तरफ से. Come on. Now we're closing down.
Let
right?
him come and ask him just come on the stage and I'll
Ask him.
come on the stage and tell the answers.
That will be too demeaning for him, है ना? That will be too demeaning and that is against micro-T, you know? अगर आप बोलेंगे तू ही आके पढ़ा ले, ठीक है ना? तो that will be too bad, you know, as a teacher to demean him, right? You are putting him down directly.
Ask him to ask the questions after the end of the presentation.
Yes.
Or I'll be
Okay.
taking your questions later or
Okay,
something.
that too, if you don't have time, you can ask. But if somebody asking you continuously, you know, in the class, anybody, someone I think you're sitting on the back, you can answer. Don't worry, I'll give you a tangdi man. Right? Come on. Yes? Anybody, sister?
Give a chance to others.
Yeah, but he's asking continuously. How to make him mouth shut without telling him shut up. You understand? Yes.
I'm going to explain after my lecture. You can ask what is that. I had not test already.
ओके तो उसमें अगर आपका टाइम नहीं है, देखिए बैठिए, अगर आपके पास टाइम लिमिटेड है, अगर आपके सवाल पूछ लिए, ठीक है ना, आपका टाइम हो गया, तो आप पूछ सकते हो कि वी कैन डिस्कस दिस क्वेश्चन ड्यूरिंग टी ब्रेक और दिस थिंग, वो आप कह सकते हो. बट कोई बंदा सुबह आपसे शुरुआत से ही पूछ रहा है, आप क्या है ना, तब तक तो जितने क्वेश्चन पूछेगा ना, लेक्चर ही खा लेगा वो आपका. समझ रहे हैं ना? उसको चुप कराना जरूरी है, नहीं तो आप अपना लेक्चर कंप्लीट भी नहीं कर पाएंगे ना. सर व्हाट इज दिस सर, आपके 2 मिनट गए, 2 वर्ड बोला सर व्हाट इज दिस सर, फिर उसका 2 मिनट सर व्हाट इज दिस सर टेल मी. पीपल आर देयर लाइक दैट, पीपल आर देयर, लेट मी टेल यू, दे आर सो डिसरप्टिव, दे विल नॉट अलाउ यू टू सेंटेंस में नहीं, यू मस्ट नोटिस ऑल्सो कॉन्फ्रेंसेस में खड़े हो जाते हैं, ठीक है. तो हाउ टू टेक केयर ऑफ दैट, समझ गए ना, ये होते हैं डिफिकल्ट बग्स.
Appreciate their question and
नहीं वो तो ठीक है,
then
वो
उनसे कहिए कि
Time is limited.
and then explain.
देखियो एक्सप्लेन जहाँ उसके चक्कर में पड़ गए आप, सुनिए जहाँ वो ही
Counter
ट्राइंग टू
questions
पुल यू
are there.
टू योर क्वेश्चन.
Avoid his questions.
नहीं अवॉइड करोगे तो फिर बचोगे नहीं, वो कैसा टीचर है, आंसर नहीं दे रहा.
Asking a difficult
Time is
question.
limited, so we will discuss later on.
नहीं वो तो ठीक है, देखिए डिस्कस हो तो फिर पूछ लेगा, उसको बीमारी है ना पूछने की, है ना, क्वेश्चन पूछने की बीमारी है, आप बोलेंगे फिर दोबारा पूछ लेगा वो. अरे वही तो कहें, हाँ जैसी गॉट आंसर टंगड़ी मिलेगा सिस्टर. ओके so you see that you are the teacher and you know the subject thoroughly, right? Excel, you are the master of the game. इसीलिए मैं कहता हूँ पढ़ के जाना, ठीक है ना. तो you should have one question in your kitty. देखो टीचर जो है ना 99% बताता है, 1% बताता है, ठीक है ना. तो वो एक क्वेश्चन आपके किटी में होना चाहिए, बैग में होना चाहिए ब्रह्मास्त्र, है ना. तो वही अस्त्र का इस्तेमाल करिए आप क्वेश्चन उसको, ताकि वो आंसर ही ना दे पाए. ऐसा जटिल क्वेश्चन पूछिए, आंसर ही ना दे पाए, फिर चुप हो जाएगा, उसके बाद तो मुंह खोलना बंद भी हो जाएगा, वो अंदर चला जाएगा, अंडरग्राउंड हो जाएगा वो, ठीक है ना. सो दैट इज द बेस्ट ट्रिक एज द लास्ट रिसोर्ट. बाकी आपने ट्रिक सब संभाल लिया, आखिरी होता है वो ब्रह्मास्त्र, गेट हिम बैक, ओके, पिन हिम डाउन विद दैट क्वेश्चन, राइट. ही गोज ओके देन. और इफ यू डोंट नो रियली, अगर आपको किसी ने एक क्वेश्चन पूछा, अगर आपको नहीं आया, हो सकता है हम कोई सुपर ह्यूमन बीइंग तो है नहीं, एज ए टीचर आप नहीं जान सकते कोई क्वेश्चन, तो क्या करना चाहिए बताइए. एनीबडी ऑनेस्टली आपको पता नहीं, एक किसी ने क्वेश्चन पूछा, जेन्युइन सवाल, आपको आया नहीं, सिस्टर
क्लास में किसी को आ सकता है.
हाँ वेरी गुड, किसी और को पता है तो बताइए. ऐसे नहीं, पहले ये बोलेगी, ऐसे नहीं बोलेगी पहले एक्सेप्ट करिए, वो पहले आप बोलेगा अगर आपको सवाल आंसर नहीं आए तो ओके, आप कोई जवाब देना चाहेगा इसका, कोई जवाब नहीं, कोई और नहीं, इसका कोई जवाब देगा, तो ठीक है किसी को नहीं आया. फिर बोला कि देखिए ये जवाब किसी को नहीं आया और मैं भी मैं शायद इस क्वेश्चन का जवाब नहीं मालूम मुझे, एक्सेप्ट करिए, बी ऑनेस्ट टू योर कन्फेशन, ठीक है ना. दैट विल बी अप्रिशिएटेड बाय द क्राउड रादर देन क्वेश्चन पूछा तुमने उसको दूसरे डायरेक्शन में ले गए, नहीं तुम्हारा सवाल गलत है, तुम्हारा वो गलत है, नहीं इसका आंसर वो है जो है ही नहीं, ठीक है ना. लोग कहते हैं ना नहीं आने से क्या होता है, टीचर वो क्या करता है, उल्टी सीधे बातें करना शुरू कर देता है. नहीं आने से यही करते हैं ना, उल्टी सीधे बातें इधर उधर भमकाना, ठीक है, तुम्हारा क्वेश्चन ही गलत है, ऐसे ही बोलते हैं. डोंट डू दैट. यू आस्क द सेम क्वेश्चन टू अदर पीपल, इफ दे नो फाइन, अगर उनको पता है अप्रिशिएट देयर आंसर, उनको भी नहीं पता है उसके बाद बोलिए कि मुझे भी इसका सवाल का जवाब नहीं मालूम. I will look into the literature and get back to you. Okay, after the class. Or remember that after your class, if you are available, you must check in the internet or something and go during the break time. Go to him and tell him the right answer. Right? ये एक अच्छी चीज होती है एक टीचर की. समझ गए ना? So that is the kind of about questions you must ask to the audience. Okay? And you must give personal examples. जब भी आप कोई पढ़ाते हो कोई चीज, थोड़े एग्जाम्पल रियल लाइफ एक्सपीरियंस दीजिए आपका पेशेंट मैनेजमेंट के ऊपर. ठीक है, एक्सपीरियंस दीजिए. तो उसमें क्या होता है ना, पेशेंट ज़्यादा रिलेट, डॉक्टर सॉरी जो स्टूडेंट है ज़्यादा रिलेट करता है. सिनेरियो बीच बीच में ना एग्जाम्पल देके समझाइए, तो उसमें क्या जल्दी समझता है. और देखिए ये जो चीज़ें मैं बता रहा हूँ, ये बच्चों को पढ़ाने में भी काम आएगा. जब आप पढ़ाते हैं ना किताब बच्चों को, तो उनको कुछ एग्जाम्पल दे के पढ़ाइए. एग्जाम्पल दे के पढ़ाइए. तो देखना कि बच्चे जल्दी ग्रैस्प कर लेंगे. करेंगे कि नहीं? जल्दी ग्रैस्प करेंगे. ये जो माइक्रो टीचिंग मैं बता रहा हूँ, ये बच्चों को पढ़ाने में भी काम आएगा, पर्सनल लाइफ में काम आएगा, है ना. तो आप उनको एग्जाम्पल दे के समझाइए, देखिए कितना अच्छा रहता है. तो पर्सनल एग्जाम्पल, रियल एक्सपीरियंस यू मस्ट इंक्लूड इन योर प्रेजेंटेशन इफ यू हैव टाइम. सेकेंड, यू कैन आस्क पर्सनल एग्जाम्पल्स फ्रॉम द ऑडियंस. हमारा कोई ऐसा एक्सपीरियंस है क्या, है ना. सो यू आस्क देयर. सो इट इज म्यूचुअल. एडल्ट लर्निंग में क्या होता है, ऑडियंस इज म्यूचुअल लर्न. यू लर्न फ्रॉम द पार्टिसिपेंट्स ऑल्सो एंड यू आर ऑल्सो टीचिंग. तो इट शुड नॉट बी ए मोनो डायलॉग. आप वहाँ खड़े हो बकर बकर करे जा रहे, कोई सुन रहा है नहीं सुन रहा है ना, 5 मिनट का फंडा लागू हो गया. तो वो सब आपको नहीं करना. तो इट शुड बी ए डुअल टॉक. राइट? ऐसा भी नहीं होना चाहिए खाली बातचीत ही करते रहें, स्लाइड चली दी, समझ गए, बातें ही करते जा रहे हो, आप कुछ कर ही नहीं रहे हो. अच्छा. सेकेंड इज यू मस्ट यूज सम ह्यूमर. ह्यूमर मतलब थोड़ा सा हंसी मजाक, ह्यूमर टू योर लेक्चर. राइट? सो दैट इट बिकम्स मोर इफेक्टिव. लेकिन ये भी नहीं करना है कि पूरा क्लास हंसी मजाक में गुजर जाए. पता लगा कि आपने जो डायलॉग करना था, वार्तालाप, वो किया ही नहीं, हंसते ही गए आप तो पूरे. That also you should not do that. Right? So these are the things you must okay do. And और एक चीज है, देखिए जब आप PowerPoint प्रेजेंटेशन कर रहे हैं, आप एक चीज याद रखिए, don't ever okay you should be very thorough about your content. These slides are proper. इसको देख के आपको नहीं पढ़ाना है, आपको पता होना चाहिए दिमाग में. So what you do is, people they have a habit of looking at the slide like this. Okay, this is how to teach skill station, this is closure. Next point again, they keep on looking at the slide like this, see, like this. गर्दन ऐसे ऐसे ऑस्ट्रिच की तरह आपका मूव कर रहा है. ठीक है ना. So you are looking here, looking there, looking here, looking there. That means the audience know कि इस गधे को पता ही नहीं कुछ क्या पढ़ा रहा है. You know. So that is what is the thing. So if I keep on doing like this, ये देखिए ऐसे चल रहा है मेरा. मैं पॉइंट देख रहा हूँ. ये जो स्लाइड्स होते हैं, जस्ट टू टेल यू कि ये पॉइंट, ये स्लाइड में मुझे क्या पढ़ाना है. यू नो व्हाट इज द पॉइंट. यू नो. सो आई हैव टू सी कॉल फॉर हेल्प. कॉल फॉर हेल्प मींस आई हैव टू टेल द ऑडियंस व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय कॉल फॉर हेल्प. ओके, शाइनी हैज ऑलरेडी टोल्ड यू द पिक्टोरियल्स एंड एवरीथिंग. ये खाली एक पॉइंट आपको रिमाइंड करने के लिए होता है. और कब आप देख सकते हैं इसको, मैं तो मना कर रहा हूँ. एनी आइडिया रन हाउ टू लुक एट द स्लाइड without keep on looking at the slide. Remember this. Yeah.
When you
Any?
are facing to the
When I'm
मुझे दबाएंगे तो
हाँ, very good sister. देखिए experience काम आता है. ठीक है ना. So देखिए you are doing that. See, I am walking, right? And walking, and you can have a sheepish glance at the slide, right? मैं देख रहा हूँ और किसको पता भी नहीं कि मैं देख भी रहा हूँ. बात है ना, आपको पता लगी क्या? नहीं लगी ना. दूसरा, you can stand on this side, on the corner, right? And you can look at this, right? Corner, right? And have a look, and then you go. Not like this. ऐसे खड़े होकर तुम पढ़ा रहे हो. Don't do that. Even your presentations. Remember to improve those skills as a student, right? Never do that. Look at the slide and this thing. If you are standing there, you can have a sheepish glance on the points. Okay? So it is so important not to look at the slide, not to give the back to the audience. ये रखेंगे अपना back audience को नहीं दिखाना. Got it? So I think you had a great interaction, right? I think you had good food, good thought process. So you are rich. You're rich in your tummy and you're rich in your brain, right? And I think you have a smile in your face. Okay? Thank you very much. So, and I'm in time. Remember this. You know, why it is important in time? Because, and who kept me the time? It was so sweet of Shiny and Matilda. They kept on showing me the time, right? That is the role of a time manager, right? Thank you. Gentlemen, right?
So good morning to all of you. I was slightly late. I was busy in the main hospital. We have with us in the next session, which is again a very interesting session. This is by Dr. Ashima Nehra. She is a clinical neuropsychologist in main age, and she is well versed in taking such kind of lectures. And I can assure you it's going to be a very interesting exercise for all of you in improving your communication skills and in teaching you how to deal better with your patients and with your colleagues. So I hand over to Dr. Ashima. Personality development, communication skills, presentation skills, and then finally learning ourselves how to organize a workshop. So it has a multifaceted, what I would say, objectives. And in that regard, we have been trying to continuously improve this workshop, getting new speakers into it, and we've been very fortunate that Dr. Ashima is free today so that she can take this class. The genesis of this workshop actually started 1 year back when Professor Mishra, our chief, invited a psychologist from United Kingdom. And she had taken a one-day workshop, if you may call it, for select doctors in the boardroom and main rooms with the heading of doctors as leaders. So this was for a select audience, and during that meeting I had a discussion with Chief because I was one of the persons there, and I told him, sir, why don't we have it for the rest of the doctors and nurses and everybody, because it has, the utility of this thing is much more than just looking at it from the leadership perspective. So Chief said, okay, fine, I think it's a good idea. Why don't you go ahead and do something about it? So it took us around 6 months to 1 year to actually, from that conception to have it down to implementation. This is, I would say, a third workshop in a series. First was experimental, first time we did it. Second, we did around a month back, which went off very well, and we had Dr. Ashima in that workshop also. And this is the third one we are doing. So at the end of this workshop, we would like your frank evaluation and feedback so that we can continue to improve upon this. So I think we have it ready now. Questions, anything of Dr. Bhoi's talk, Shiny's talk on presentation skills, communication skills, please feel free to ask. Anything, or is it very clear to everyone? Because this is just telling you how to interact with people. In communication skills and teaching. And finally, what makes or breaks any kind of workshop is the quality of the speaker. After the quality of the speaker actually comes the content. Because if the speaker is able to carry himself or herself, then the content becomes actually immaterial. Because any workshop, any conference, any presentation is like a show business. You are basically advertising yourself or presenting yourselves to the crowd. And if you are able to carry that, how you walk, how you talk, as Dr. Bhoi explained, how you dress, I don't know if you talked about the dressing sense, dress, how you move on the floor, it is almost like a fashion show. in a more intellectual way. So if you're doing that, the presentation itself is not that important. And I just want to reiterate what he talked about, that people used to be very good speakers, the workshop used to go on very well, even when computers were not there. So computers have just come on as a prop to help you and help everybody who is not so confident in speaking to start speaking. So those speakers who are very good at talking don't need the presentation. They don't need the slides, they don't need the computer. But it still helps them in getting their thoughts together. But for the vast majority of us, it always helps if you have a good presentation, because then you can distract the audience. Again, I'm telling you, it's like a show business. You're distracting the audience by showing them very colorful presentations, which may be, if you make them very nicely, which may balance out your talking skills or speaking skills with that of the presentation, so that the overall experience for the audience is good. Like in a movie, they have a beautiful heroine, always, so that even if the picture is useless, people feel that, okay, there was something good to watch. Similarly here, if you have a good presentation, a very nice presentation which is crisp and nice, you feel, okay, even if the speaker didn't speak so well, the presentation was very good. Or vice versa, even if the presentation was useless, the speaker spoke so well that I think it was worth sitting here and watching. So these are very important things. I hand over now to Dr. Ashima.
Thank you very much. Plus doing something for AIMS and something meaningful for the future of the people who are attending it. Today I was given a talk to be given on effective communication building and personality development. Most of it is already covered, and I think more would be coming up during the day. Well, first of all, I just want you to tell me, what do you understand by an effective, or whatever you're clear about. There is various steps that you have to follow to make sure that it is communicated well. Anybody else? Can you tell me the various types of communication? I think Dr. Boyes already covered that. Eye contact. Fantastic. Okay. Anything else? Body language. Perfect. So that's a science in itself. Anybody else? Language. The volume of language. Yes. The modulation. Fantastic. Yes. So I've tried to cover my talk under the following outlines. First of all, let me talk about what is personality. Please remember, whatever we are is an outproduct of the biological background, the kind of genes that we got, and the environmental factors, and our constitutional factors. So there are three things which are important. The biological factor, which is, the three are 33.33% important. The first is the biological, the 33.33 is the first. It cannot be changed. We are born with that, he does not repeatedly fall sick. And third factor, which is the environmental factor. This is the total environmental factor which affects our personality. We interact with some people, we get a feedback from some people, we do things, we get a positive feedback from our teachers, so our personality gets developed. So a personality is an outproduct of these three. Put together is equal to personality. So that's a simple formula. Now, what are the various types of personality? Well, there are various types of personalities. Some, normally we use a kind of a loose term saying this one is introvert, this one is extrovert, this one is ambivert, a combination of the two. Sometimes we will say this one has a mesomorphic trait, he's a little healthy, or ectomorphic trait, or there are different types. So similarly, the personality types are, these categories are differ as per the different theories. So these theories are different, and they are of course all overlapping. There are different angles of the same elephant that we are watching. Okay. Now a study which has been done in India. Now this ISTD is the various types as in thinking, feeling, sensing, intuitive. So these are the four things, and these are the abbreviations of these four. And if a person is ISTD, which is intuitive, sensing and thinking and judging, and this combination will follow. And it has been found that these two are the maximum number of persons who are present in India. People who do things as they are told to do. We may say that we were once ruled by British, and so we were very used to what the British told us we were doing, we were complying. And we continue to do that, we are very passive. But we will do as per what we are told things to be done. So this is one category, and this is life's administrator. So we just follow administrative model as the model which we receive from the ideals that we follow. Now there are 7 traits of a good doctor. Why I thought of a good doctor? I will try and cover a nurse angle also to it. Now what are the 7 traits? A person being confident. If a patient has walked into your clinic and you interact with the person confidently, knowing your subject, the patient goes back with the feeling that he is confident in your demeanor and thinks that whatever you have told is right. Humane. You are showing some kind of a compassion, you are showing some kind of a warmth, you are showing that I understand that you have gone through something. The patient comes to you and says that I had my meeting with you today at 8 o'clock. So I sat outside your OPD from 2:30 because there was a long queue. One is okay, and let's continue. Jo tumne bolna hai bolo. Another is I understand what you've gone through, but you know there's so many people who are waiting outside. So the kind of communication you put forward and the kind of expressions that you give, verbal, as in with the eye, and also as you talked about, the speech and the eye contact makes the person get a feeling that you are communicating well and you understanding and you having a humane touch. Empathy. You are physically and emotionally, you understand the feelings of this person. And these are again expressed by 2 techniques, 2 ways, which are verbal and non-verbal. Some of you have stated about verbal communication as in modulation of speech, the volume of speech, the quality of speech. Some of you talked about the eye contact. So these are 2 different categories that we are talking of, the verbal and the non-verbal techniques. Okay? Then is forthright. Forthright means that in a plain and a plain language, you are communicating that you may continue doing doctor shopping. But please remember, this is a problem which is going to take about this much time. I have recommended a medicine to you. The medicine will actually show its effect after 3 months. So if you think that me or somebody else can be God, it cannot be. The medicine will only take its own time to work. So if you're forthright, initially he may feel that you're a little too straight because he wants an immediate result. He has come to you because he's gone to various hospitals and he has not been getting the kind of work that you will be doing on him. Then is you give some kind of a personal touch. The person is saying that I do not have a place to stay. I don't know where to go. One is I don't care, that is for you to see. Another is just a little extra effort, and then you say, okay, this is my form and this is a sarai and I'm recommending you for the sarai. So it's a little extra of a personal touch that you're giving, okay, to this person, and the person starts to feel that this person is interested in me, is first of all interested in me, is interested in what I am saying, is interested in my problem, is not interested in just, I'm not just a patient, I am a human being. Respectful. Please remember, we all are brought up in India. We cannot be calling a person by his first name. There is certain respect that you have to show to a person if the person is great more than you. It is important that you communicate with warmth. You cannot say, Mr. Hiralal, aa jaiye. Hiralal, baith jaiye. And this person is probably your father's age. a little bit of respect. The person has walked in and you say, Mr. Hiralal, please baith jaiye. The very feeling also shows some respect, and this person, if you follow these rules, you become the most popular person in your clinic. And thorough. You have to be persistent and thorough in the kind of work that you're doing, and not just do for the heck of it. Now, there are various domains of personality development. I have listed under the 4. The communication skills, which is one aspect that you are covering. The interpersonal skills. देखो, आपने once से communicate तो कर दिया, but you do not have respect for your colleagues. You are very, you just say, I don't know why this one is always late, and I have to cover for him or her for maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And your body language is communicating that even to the patient who you see. The leadership skill. Some people get jealous if somebody is trying to be a leader. So either the person who has become a leader should know that he should be sensitive, or even you should be sensitive who should be a leader. And finally, teamwork. Teamwork meaning it is important that everybody works together as a team. Please remember, a doctor cannot be working in a clinical setting without a nurse. And please remember, nurse alone cannot be doing anything without a doctor. It is important. And similarly, one person cannot be Mr. Do-all, one person cannot be Mr. Know-all. And there is a hierarchy. Hierarchy meaning there is a consultant, there is a SR, there is a junior resident. It is a hierarchy which is helping each other. A junior resident cannot think, I can do everything without a consultant. Consultant cannot think, I can do everything on my own without a junior resident. So, as I said, communication skills can be 2. I would like to play a little enactment here. I'd like 2 volunteers over here. Any 2 who can come up on the dais? Please. One more person.
I'm interested in you going. And concentration में problem हो रही है.
Can you hear her?
And I thought it's time. घर पे थोड़ी दवाई ली, but then वो काम नहीं कर रही.
Positive in this enactment, or what do you see negative in this enactment? He's not listening to the patient. Okay. Why do you think he's listening? And that's how the doctor has written the list of tests. Why do you think he's not listening? He's not interacting. He's not interacting. Okay. Anybody else?
There was no eye contact.
There was no eye contact, and that is why she's thinking that he was not interacting. Perfect. So there was no eye contact. Anybody else?
No, we got to sit the patient to sit down.
He did not even tell this patient, why don't you take a chair? Not interested. Very good. Anything else?
Not empathetic.
Not empathetic. Wow. Because obviously, because of lack of eye contact and lack of communication skills. So now, I'd like to just tell you the type of communications that you can effectively use. One is words, as you already said. One is the anybody?
He could smile. He could be warm. He could
pull the chair.
He could pull the chair, or he could just ask the patient to sit down.
Exactly. Take a chair. Fantastic. Okay. Okay. So the therapeutic communication, as stated earlier, can be verbal and non-verbal, and you have to encourage the patient to express as much as possible so that the person does not take it. It's just like I have been, मैं इतने सारी जगह गए हैं, maybe 5-10 places, and finally we come to AIMS. And AIMS में they're not even, and the supportiveness are the 3 pillars of the effective communication. And the body gestures are important. The kind of sitting on the edge of the chair. कई लोग स्कूटर पे बैठते हैं ना, कोने में देखा है आपने? They'll be sitting on the edge of the chair, or sometimes they'll be sitting off center, seat से थोड़ा हटके. Have you seen that? So sitting on the edge of the chair, crossing your legs while the patient is here and you're sitting here. Your crossing your leg expresses that you are not interested in this patient. If you're sitting across, right across, patient का stool हमेशा side पे रखा जाता है. So it should be on the side to side and not in front of each other. Okay? The dominant feeling, in addition to that, you're sitting like that, arms folded. Means you are expressing that you're not interested. Eye contact, you know, which means you're looking away. While the patient is talking, if you don't make an eye contact, means again you're not interested. If you do not nod, means you are disinterested or you're not even paying attention. There are different types of facial expressions that you can be using. And the smile has different, and you are going and all of a sudden you say, good morning, sir. Isn't that so? And there are various types of sirs. One sir is, hi, good morning. This one expression. One sir says, and walks off. What does it express? It is very meaningful and it is just a duty. And I fulfilled because you wished me and I wished you. So it's a duty that I fulfilled. One is, and then you continue till the person passes you. So what are you expressing? You are expressing that there is warmth in you for that person. So smile has different types of expressions. I'd like to show you a video here. आ रही है आवाज? Can you hear this? आवाज आ रही है? अब आ रही है? This is what happens normally, which you all will be facing. The patient has some questions from the sister. The sister has to complete the files and linen and everything and bathing and a list of things to finish. Paperwork to fill. Patient is thinking, I wish she could look at me. I'm like a machine. She's just doing a job and leaving me like that. They both are interacting with each other. This is, they have to catch up. They're meeting in this particular day the first time in the morning. But they're not talking to the patient.
Let's try it again. You look a little distracted.
She's making a little personal note, showing empathy, but you're looking a little distracted. He's so happy that at least she's interacting with him. Now the patient is worried that she's about to have a surgery, and so she's concerned, and she's saying, I'll give you a brochure and I'll help you out. A little extra effort to give a personal touch. And now, if you've seen, she cupped her hand. So that's a non-verbal communication that you do. They're not talking to each other, they're talking to the patient this time. A little bit of a compliment that you're looking better, you're looking good today. You can make a person feel so good and confident about yourself.
Eye contact is masterpiece.
Okay, so interpersonal communication can be done effectively by, as they've stated, listening, language and communication, using a feedback. The person is asking a question, use a feedback. Questioning a person. Please remember, there are various ways of communication, verbal communication. One is restatement. The person says, oh, I am feeling upset that what is going to happen for surgery? And you repeat by saying, so you're thinking, what will happen for surgery? You're repeating his own statement. What are you trying to do? What is it that you're doing?
Hearing his question.
Reassuring. You are trying to show that you are interested in getting more information out of this person. Okay? Then you continue, you say, okay, go on. Is there anything else that you want to tell me? Till the person stops talking. And then you realize now the person is not saying anything. Then you summarize. The kind of things that the person has said, you summarize. What are you trying to say? Making his thought clear, and at the same time putting in, also communicating that you have been able to understand whatever he or she was trying to communicate to you. And finally you give a remedy. So all these things, including an eye contact, including an expression, facial expression, and a little bit of a warmth is important. Now I must tell you one more thing. Ours is an Indian setup. These are the foreign videos that I got. Ours is an Indian setup. We are just taught to be not touching a person of an opposite sex. So what is it which are considered the non-sexual zones which you can use to express empathy and warmth?
And
Should be able to smile, should be able to put everybody together, should be able to interact with everybody, should be able to get the maximum communication out of that person. That's a part of a good personality at a workplace. Now, what is moonlighters? It's an American term. All the nurses and the doctors who work overnight or they do night duties are called the moonlighters. And it has been found that the body, that the people who moonlight, it tends to have a carcinogenic effect on the body, and it is important that they follow a strict exercise and healthy regime. Since they go back to work and go back home in the morning, it is important that the room where they sleep should be made dark as possible rather than drawing the curtains. If possible, you know that the cap that you get in the aircraft, try and put that on so that you can improve your sleep cycle. And find a mentally engaging hobby. I've just given examples. People who are intellectually interested in crossword and Sudoku, you can use that. Or you can use some of the other things, cooking or knitting, etc. to engage yourself. And there should be a set schedule for doing whatever you want to do, and must inform about your whereabouts with the colleagues. Be prepared for a long chat with your colleagues. Please remember, because you're at night shift and you're very tired and you're not talking to your colleagues, it is not good. The best relationship, the studies have proven, is when people interact at 4 o'clock in the morning. And these are the people who are moonlighters and they interact at that time. They are the ones who tend to turn into best friends later on. Now, the secrets for a good nurse would be again the same as empathy, compassion, patience, diligence, genuinely interested, good communication, motivation, etc. And for that, again, I'd like to show you another video.
Talking to a senior citizen or to someone with a disability should never be scary.
Can you hear
Or
me?
a chore. Let's look at 10 tips to make any conversation run smoothly. Up to 20% of the American population has some form of mental or physical disability, and at least 10% are over the age of 65. So it's important to be comfortable communicating with both the elderly and the disabled. When talking to someone who may be different from you, remember that, as with any interaction, a first impression is a lasting impression. Start out pleasantly, and a positive experience will follow. As you greet someone, keep in mind that posture matters. Standing straight, extend your shoulders parallel to the ground, keeping your chin up and your hands loosely open, a posture that indicates your willingness to establish a positive rapport. During your conversation, be conscious of the body language cues you are sending. Clenched fists, crossed arms, and a body that is turned away from the conversation are all indicators that you're uncomfortable. It's also important to be aware of the other person's bodily cues. These same signals might indicate that the person you're speaking with is uncomfortable or anxious. If you notice agitation, back off a bit or change your approach. As you speak to a disabled or elderly individual, remember to smile. This key communication tool is one of the few that's the same in any language. When speaking, always remember that the way in which you talk matters too. Try to keep your voice volume at a pleasant level. Don't speak too softly, but don't yell, as this defensive behavior doesn't help anyone to understand you better. Similarly, try to articulate plainly and consider the person you are speaking with. You may need to use easier words or simple comparisons to help someone understand. Watch for the other person's reaction. You'll be able to tell if you're making sense. As you're speaking, remember to use words of respect. Titles like Mr., Mrs., Sir, and Madam all connote respect. Other key phrases to use include please, thank you, is it okay if, and would you mind? One of the most important things to remember when communicating with an elderly or disabled individual is not to speak to them as you would speak to a child. This is a standard reaction that is often interpreted as patronizing and is offensive to the person being addressed. Finally, be honest with the individual in question. If you're not sure how to communicate with them due to a hearing impairment or a mental disability, say so. Often the person will be happy to guide you. No matter what the age or capability of the person before you, remember to respect and treat them as politely as you can. Even if they can't say so, they will appreciate this basic human kindness. Want to learn more? Check out other videos.
Now, what is important is that you respect the person's age and you respect the individual. You do not call the person, as I said earlier, by his first name. It is good if you use Mr., Mrs., Madam, or something. You don't have to actually use a relationship as in Masi or something, which is normally done when you're going to the villages. But you can always use things like that as in, or say thank you, or please sit down, and the kind of expressions which expresses warmth. Now, the professional, first of all, I want to know how many of you are doctors here? Okay. I will show you a special video on doctor-patient relationship once I'm through with this. Okay. Now, the professional ethics are that, you need to have a very good rapport with your colleagues. Keep your personal feelings, dislikes about the person away. And in case you think you do not sit in company, in public. And the common do's and don'ts are, in case the person, this is again for the doctors, in case the patient has come to you, you have to greet the person with warmth and not hurriedly. Make the person sit beside you and not across. The table on which you are examining the person or where you're sitting should be uncluttered and neat. Help by accepting, being interested in putting him on a talk, which again I'll show you yet another video how to do that. Give him a chance or pause to think. Sometimes what happens is we try and complete his statement and we make a mistake by doing that because his thought is still working as in what he needs to communicate. Sometimes when the patients are coming to you, they forget to make a list before they come to you. They are not very sure and then they are in a hurry to tell you a whole lot of things and they sometimes tend to fumble or repeat the same thing over and over again. And then is ask, which calls for discussion. You ask him to repeat whatever you think needs a little discussion. Do not divert or cut his statement and ignore direct questions. You are a potential person for a marriage and this person is an old man or a woman and thinks you are a right person for his child as a potential candidate for marriage. They may ask you some direct questions. Are you married? Because they think you're very nice. They may ask you such questions can be deferred by saying that we are sitting here and I don't think I'm supposed to be answering that question. I hope you understand. So the same thing can be communicated well rather than with a stern facial expression. And then is give some idea about the amount of time. Now you in an OPD are having 30 patients to be seen and you have to complete that in 3 hours time. You cannot possibly, initially you're spending half an hour history taking, details, etc. And then later on you're hurrying up. Time dekh rahe hain, oh, I have to go, I have to prepare my seminar, abhi 2 baje I have a talk. At that time you tell him that today you and I, we are having 10 minutes. So that the person is aware that he has to complete his whatever communication to you within that 10 minutes. Okay? And once the 7 minutes pass, you say, well, we have another 3 minutes to go. Can we go over again and repeat whatever was done and you summarize whatever history taking that you have done so that the person is in no hurry and person doesn't feel that you've cut him and you've shut him off.